Okay, so the plan is to lay down a bunch of lightning rods, then drop a magnetic salvo to take out a huge chunk of his life. Here we go. And boom! Uh, Hold on, I need to turn on power overwhelming. Hey everybody, nobody here. Today we're going to be looking at my first kill of the 4th Ascendancy boss in the Trials of the Sekhemas, Zarokh the Temporal. So I wanted to start off by just showing you the afflictions and boons that I got throughout the run, highlighting the different ones here that would really affect this fight. You can see that I got several different boons, and I got like 8 or 9 that would affect the fight directly. Some of them are really good, like the hare's foot. The 40% increased movement speed was clutch throughout the whole fight. And obviously you saw from the opening clip that the DPS was very low, and this is not going to be like a guide for a build or really even how to fight him, although I'll point out some mechanics here and there. It's really just to show that a low geared character can finish their 4th Ascendancy. I think that at this point I had maybe hit a budget of total gear of maybe 2 divines, maybe, and that's only because I got really lucky with a couple drops. Anyways, you can see that my DPS is super low. I'm doing a pretty typical lightning rod, lightning arrow build, but my bow was mediocre and the rest of my gear was very mediocre as well. This fight ends up being, I think, about 15 minutes, and I think it was my second time fighting him, if I remember correctly, maybe third, but nothing more than that. I had watched a video on just to see his mechanics. It wasn't really a guide or anything like that, but I was somewhat familiar. And the important thing to note for the fight is that his damage is actually pretty low, except for one of the moves that I'll point out later. You don't really have to worry about dying that much. All you have to really worry about is your honor. And you can see I have a little over 5,000 honor for this run, I get through about my full bar of honor at the end, and you'll see a couple of big hits that I take that kind of gets me there. But throughout the fight, I stay pretty consistently ahead of him in percentage of honor versus his percentage of life. And so I feel pretty good throughout the fight. You can see that my gear is so bad that I consistently am running out of mana and having to use my main attack, my auto attack, or what is it, bow attack or something like that, just because I've completely ran out of mana. See, my mana flask is completely low right now. I did see that trick with the chain lightning attack that he goes in a 360 with. You can stand in the corner and get hit very little, and even again, the attack does such little damage. Anyways, but with my low gear, it was really important to just miss as many attacks as I can. I swear the little bubbles that he throws out, their hitboxes, like, how did that hit me? I didn't understand some of these hits that I got. Right there, I just completely missed one that I got way closer with on the last one. So yeah, about 40% life. This is the one hit mechanic. You come in, you see the bubbles, and you need to get all 5 or 6 of them before the time runs out. That one was pretty easy. They were all pretty close together. My first time trying this guy out, there was one bubble at the very bottom corner of the screen, and I completely missed seeing it, and that's how I died the first time, which was really frustrating. But you can see he's getting close to 50% life here, and my honor percent is about 30%, so I'm doing pretty good overall in dodging the attacks for my second or third time attacking him. And at the end of the battle, I took my hands off the keyboard and mouse, and my fingers were just tingling because my heart was just pounding so bad from the super long fight. That was the first time that he threw out the rods, the spinning rods that he does. Those do get harder and harder to dodge. At first they're kind of just around him, but eventually he starts throwing them out further and further. And he does more than one set at a time as well. The best method is just to get on the other side of the map if you can. You don't have to dodge through all this. Somehow I make it through all of that without getting hit once, but it's really hard to do. So down to 40% life, or 60% life missing, about 40% honor missing for me. So I'm feeling pretty good at this point. He does this chain lightning again, get in the corner, does very little damage. Here's the first time trap. You have to get out of those immediately after they warp you back, or they do massive damage. I think I get hit 2 or 3 times by those, and that's how my honor gets dropped from over 50% left, and eventually I'm down to like 100 honor at the end. Okay, here's the second one-shot mechanic. I'm counting the bubbles. You can see that one down in the corner, so I ended up having to use Shield Rush. I did learn that trick from, I think it was Crip is the video that I watched. Okay, another time bubble, and okay, yep, see, that was the one that the first one that I get hit by, and it was huge damage. You could see a big chunk of my honor. He's at about 15%. I'm only at like 25% or maybe 20% honor left. We're getting really close to the percentage. Another time bubble. It's that one. I've almost walked back into that one. Alright, he's down to 10% or less health. I'm still at 25-ish% honor, so I'm feeling pretty good. Missed that time bubble. I am getting pinged a lot by these small projectiles just everywhere on the screen. Again, try to just stay out of the area of the lightning, or of the rods. I obviously didn't do that time. This time, I was so mad because I got frozen and then dropped back into the time bubble, so I got hit. I'm little over 100. I knew at this point that I had to kill him right now, or there was no way that I was going to get him. So I'm just focused on DPS now. Obviously, I'm running out of mana, and my DPS is super low. I think I narrowly avoid getting hit here. My hands were shaking so bad. And this is the last one. I knew I had to hit it, and I got it. Again, I took my hands off the keyboard and mouse, and my hands were tingling. So yeah, that was a super low DPS ranger taking down Zarokh, and just wanted to show that it is possible. I know there's a lot of people that just pay for carries, but I had a really good time just coming into the challenge for the second or third time and trying it again and succeeding. It was a huge rush, but it was a lot of fun. So just wanted to show that it's possible. But again, who am I to tell you any of this? Really, I'm just nobody.